I'll cut it so it starts.
There. Just get the chair over the way. You gotta spin it with the labels in there.
Oh yeah. Welcome to the B Squared Podcast. I'm Brant Bulmert.
I'm Alex Bretzman.
And this is the B Squared Podcast. Dang it. This episode is not sponsored by Ghost. Eat responsibly. Get your protein in, which doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Okay, well that's not on the docket.
It should be on the docket. Welcome to episode 2.
Episode 2, yep. We got some cameras this time.
We are live. And by
Invested.
live I mean not live because this is pre-recorded.
Nonetheless, we're going to start it off today. I'll give you the rundown. First, we're going to talk about would you rather question. Then, we're going to move into the best spring activities you can do in Fargo.
North Dakota.
Yep, now they know our first and last names and where we live. And then we're going to end with what separates a good PT from a great one. And this is gonna be a cooking friends podcast too. So.
All right,
that's enough of that.
Hang on. Shit. Sorry for cussing.
Sorry for cussing, brother.
I'm spilling noodles.
Can you talk while doing noodle stuff, or otherwise?
Yes, I can.
All right. So we're gonna first talk about a pretty packed question here. Would you rather? Wait. You said it better.
Okay. Would you rather have a 100% guaranteed chance at $1 million, where someone just hands you $1 million, or a 50% chance, so a flip of a coin, of $1 billion? I think you take the 50% chance. You take the shot all day. Brant wants to play it safe and take the $1 million, and he's wrong.
If that's your reasoning, it's
Because if you know anything about mathematics,
it's not even a mathematical
it
equation.
is a math. You can make anything mathematics.
First off,
numbers.
First off, I'm accepting $1 million because I know what I'm going to do with that $1 million. I know my worth. I don't have to take a chance. I'm not taking a chance.
Okay, what are you doing with the $1 million though?
What are you doing with your $1 billion that you might not even get? First off, here's reason number one.
Okay.
I am for sure getting $1 million. There's no risk with it.
You're correct.
Okay. Let's just get that one out of the way because that one's obvious.
Okay.
Second one, if I have $1 million, I could invest it. I could, is probably going to increase.
And if
the difference between $1 million and $1 billion, right? I could live off $1 million. I don't need $1 billion. Why would I need $1 billion? Why do you need $1 billion compared to $1 million? What's the difference?
You will never have to worry about money for another day of your life. That's the difference.
So you're gonna become complacent. Great, nice, good for you.
Here's the argument for
Don't
50%
look at me. Look at the camera.
I'll look at the camera. Whatever. Here's the argument. If you look about it from a mathematical statistics perspective, and you talk about expected value, if 10 people went through this experiment and they all took the 50% shot, math says 5 of them would walk away with $1 billion and 5 wouldn't. If you combine the total earnings that they would have and you divide it by those 10 people that did it, the value that would be totally earned per person would be $500 million. Does that make sense?
That doesn't.
The expected value is a $500 million thing.
What happens if you have zero? You get zero.
It's the math. The math is saying that you are 500 times more likely to make, not 500 times more likely. You have a 50%. You have a 100% chance to make 500 times more than just what you're guaranteed.
Well, if I'm doing the math right, you have a dice, right? The dice has a 1 and a 2 on it.
The
one?
dice?
The one?
A die?
The one?
There's no such thing as a two-sided die. It'd be flipping a coin. Or pick a number 1 or 2.
Two-sided die? That'd be wild.
That wouldn't be a die. That'd be a two-dimensional.
Hey, guess what? This is a two-sided die. I have put 1 on this side, and I put 2 on this side.
I want 2.
And that...
Oh,
Yeah.
I
So
just got
so
$1 billion.
so two.
I just got $1 billion.
Okay, can you let me talk?
Okay, talk.
This segment shouldn't be this long.
I
Okay.
think it should be.
The math says you either get $1 billion or you don't, and there's a 50% shot. So you take 10 Alexes, right? Alex I. 5 of them are gonna get $1 billion. 5 of them are gonna have nothing. You take 10 Brants, they're all gonna get $1 million. That's
So five of them are going to earn $5 billion, and the 10 of you are going to earn $10 million. Do you understand the difference between $1 billion and $1 million?
First off, there's only one of me, so
Okay. Do you understand the difference between $1 billion and $1 million? Do
yes.
you understand the difference? What is the difference? Please tell me. How many more zeros does $1 billion have than $1 million? You know math?
There's a $990 million difference. $999 million difference.
That is correct. Okay.
I get that. But all I need is $1 million, because I guarantee you I can probably take that not to $1 billion, but definitely way more than what $1 million would be.
I'm taking the risk. If it's a 50-50 shot, it's a truthfully 50-50 shot, I'm taking the risk.
You know what? It's money. You know what? Money doesn't buy happiness. Therefore, $1 billion doesn't make you more happy than $1 million.
Therefore, you should.
So I'd rather take the 100% chance of me getting $1 million than $1 billion, because $1 billion doesn't mean you're gonna have a greater time.
Therefore,
you're gonna have a better life. No.
Therefore, you should just turn down the money. Because
You know what the number one thing You know what the number one thing that makes someone happy?
Happiness.
That was dumb. Friendships.
You can buy friendships.
Having friends.
What if
No, you can't buy friends. All right, we're moving on. Moving on. That shouldn't have been that long. Best spring activities in Fargo.
Best spring activities in Fargo.
All right. Well, number one, probably for me. I guess I probably should have thought about this before I put it on.
Your answer is day drinking, by the way. I mean, that's the number one answer.
Okay.
Is a darty. That's the best spring thing to do when the weather gets above 60 degrees outside on a Saturday. You're going to start drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. No, that's kind of early, but.
Well, we obviously see who went to the inferior college over here.
Yeah, we obviously see who's non-alcoholic.
I'm not an alcoholic. I just like to have a beer
That's exactly what all alcoholics
every 2 months
say.
at 10 in the morning.
Every alcoholic I've known is, I'm not an alcoholic. That's what they say. Regardless. Yes, I would agree with you. You know what? We don't have to disagree on everything. I would agree.
Yeah,
a nice darty, some grilling in the background.
Dude,
play some
bars,
Arizona
play some bags.
Cervas. Arizona Cervas.
What is that?
It's this music, like an artist. Arizona Cervas.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it doesn't know. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know if that's number one. It's up there.
It's the number one thing to do, but you can't do it every day.
Yeah.
Put it
Okay,
down.
but so if we're doing like a Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening after work, probably fishing by the river. On the
Fishing?
river.
What about just like your classic bike ride or walk?
You can do that. You can do that
You know
in the
how many
winter.
trails are up here?
I can go walk around when there's snow outside.
There's trails all around my house.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice. This episode sucks.
No, it's great.
No, because we don't have to disagree. Yeah, biking and walking outside, that's nice. But you can also do that in the winter. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but can you really?
No, it's not. I mean, it depends if you like snow or not, or like the cold. But, and I also wouldn't say that's the top thing. Like, you ever
To
been,
do in
you
the
ever
winter,
been
for
river
sure.
fishing?
Yeah, I've fished before. Yeah, it's a fun thing to do.
And
But I'm saying it's you're sedentary when you're doing it. Basically, you're standing.
If you're
you're
catching
sitting.
a lot of fish, my forearms are burning.
Yeah, all you're doing is constantly reeling. Radial and ulnar deviation.
That was dumb.
You're down.
Let's see here. What's the best inside activity on a spring day?
Sleep. Take a nap. Open the windows up a
No,
little bit.
specifically to spring.
Spring cleaning. That has to be the answer.
That was actually good.
That's like
Spring cleaning.
that's the big brain answer right there.
Yep.
That's the best thing to do inside when the weather gets nice enough. You open up the windows, you can smell the fresh
Why
air.
do you think people say spring cleaning? Like why don't there's never like a winter or summer cleaning?
Because usually you hoard stuff over the cold because you don't want to get rid of anything. So
Is that actually
Yeah.
why?
And then they have spring cleanup, like so everyone puts their trash out on the side of the curb.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
because everyone's hoarding stuff in the cold because no one wants to throw away. You can't
Okay.
if you're gonna throw away a couch, you can't just put a couch out on the side of the curb in the middle of winter because no one's gonna pick it up. In the spring, when they have a designated date for it, then they come and people come pick it up.
Facts.
Right.
Okay, do you have to be standing for your food's not going anywhere?
I gotta stir the noodles, man.
Okay, you sit down. We'll take turns every minute.
Every 2 minutes.
No, but this episode's gonna be dumb because you're just standing
This
in the
episode
background.
is great. I don't know why you're freaking out over nothing. Okay, I'll sit down for 2 minutes and then I gotta stand up again.
All right, now to the best segment because the first two were dumb as.
I thought they were great. That's normal.
Doesn't matter.
Podcasting. It doesn't
It
always
doesn't
have
matter.
to
It
be
doesn't
about
matter.
PT.
You know, it doesn't have to be
This
perfect.
is a physical
Doesn't have to
therapy
be perfect.
podcast. Yeah, it's not perfect. That's what makes it a good
My
podcast.
external rotation. What's yours look like?
Dang, you're tight.
I just wink to the audience. That I feel like you never mind. All right. What separates a good PT from a great one?
Patient-centered care.
Yeah, I know, but we have to explain it. What's
Being able to be more personable just beyond the treatment. Just beyond the standards of care that you're providing. If you can willingly have a good conversation with your patient and make them feel cared about while they're in your presence, I think that's what
I agree.
the determining factor.
I agree. I would say like physical therapy. If you're a good actor, you probably would be, and you know the basics. Like you can like say things that make sense, physical therapy wise. But you really aren't a physical therapist. But you're a great actor. You're probably gonna be a great PT.
If you're a
Because
good,
you're an actor, but like you're good with people. You're personable.
if you're a good
salesman.
persuader,
Yeah.
you'd be really good at anything in physical.
Well, I don't know about persuading necessarily.
Okay.
If you're charismatic,
If you're a very
charismatic,
personable person,
yes,
do you have a charismatic, charisma, Riz? You
yes,
got Riz?
I would say that.
So if you have Riz, you'd be a good physical
No.
therapist. If you're attractive,
Charismatic does not mean
if,
risk.
if you're an attractive
Charismatic
person,
means you're likable, very likable.
if you're an attractive person, your patient's probably going to like you more than if you're unattractive.
I would agree. I don't know the research on that, but I feel like it's true because I had a patient the other day, and they're like, they had some kind of trainer, but they were like a clinical physiologist, some kind of like that, and he was like really fat. She's like, I did not like him because if you're in exercise, something with exercise, you should not be
That's
fat.
fair. That is fair. But that's fat discrimination.
No, I'm not taking an opinion on that. I'm just saying that's what happened.
I know. I'm saying that's what happened. But to be fair, I mean that's the basic common sense if you think about it. If you're going to if your doctor is overbeat or obese and overweight, you're probably not going to feel like they know what they're talking
You're
about.
probably less they probably trust you less. It's just the basic human nature.
Right. If you look like you're in decent shape and you're a physical therapist and you're seeing someone for and they're severely obese and they're doing like balance training or they come for a strength assessment,
And you're hobbling. If you're doing balance training and you're hobbling all over the place,
and you have one leg and you're falling all over the place, probably not going to trust you. They're not going to get you better.
exactly. So, going off that, what makes someone likable?
What makes someone likable?
Yeah, what makes someone very? You said personable, right? What does that entail? What
I think it's
characteristics?
different for every person. You know, I kind of
Yeah.
want to change my answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Not the term personable, but being adaptable. Because everyone's type of personable person is different.
That's why I said charisma. You're likable, very likable. To
Right,
anyone.
but some people may like you more
But
than they like me.
charisma is if you are very charismatic, that means more people will like you because you're very likable. That's
Right.
what charisma
Would
is.
you rather apply?
So that's what you're basically.
Would you
saying.
rather apply to the 80% of the population 100% of the time, or 100% of the population 80% of the time?
Can you say that again?
Would you rather? So the 80% of patients you treat,
Yeah.
every single one of them is going to like you. They are 100% going to get better,
Yeah.
but the 20% of people that see you don't get better at
Yeah.
all. Or would you rather have every single person that you see get 80% better?
I would rather have the first one, 80%.
So you're saying 80% of people get 100% better, they think you're the greatest person in the world, and the other 20% think you don't know what you're doing and they regress and they...
Not that they think I'm the greatest, they think they did it. That's another topic.
Well...
I would rather have that. That's actually a tough question.
Would you rather
That's actually a tough question.
Would you rather have 80% of your patients get 100% better and 20% of your patients not get better and regress?
I know it's a would you rather, but I would say that the first one is more realistic because in real life...
I totally agree. I'm just saying, would you rather have it the other way?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have a patient feel 100% better than 80%. So...
Yeah, but then the 20% feels 0% better and don't get all.
Then I refer them out to another PT. Right? Yeah.
That must be very difficult to do.
Yeah, I think it...
Because then you have to self-admit, basically saying
I feel like that takes a lot of balls, honestly.
100%. You're basically saying that you're not qualified or not fit enough to treat this patient.
Exactly.
Not like from a
you just don't click. Like some patients, I'll have patients where immediately we click. Well, guess what? The outcomes are way better.
Well, yeah,
and then you have patients where it's like we are just like that, and then it's a slow
If you're just
process.
constantly butting heads with your patients, they're not going to get any better.
Yeah, we're getting off topic here. So let's say charisma, or like what does it take for someone to be likable in the PT world, or I mean, kind of basically any. It doesn't have to be the PT world, but like, what does it take for someone to be likable? What makes someone likable?
I think just being kind is probably the number one thing.
I know, but they're very. I'm just going like specifics. Like I would probably say, a really good listener, like is gonna listen to you and not interrupt at all. Is gonna like let you talk, right?
Right.
Like that probably is a big one. Because if you're the PT and you're just talking to the patient, and talking their ear off.
But what if the person is a listener and doesn't like to talk and they want the other person to be a talker? That's where I think you're right in the sense that those are the basic skills that make someone likable, but the biggest skill to have is being able to adapt to whatever patient or whatever person.
I'm trying to talk about specifics though.
I know, but
I know it's hard to get specific because there's always the what if this, what if that.
That's physical therapy school has ruined my brain on becoming specific because your answers need to be so broad to fit.
But you still should think specifics.
I get it.
Like the thing is with PT, like nothing is specific, but you still should have a goal or like I don't want to say algorithm, but like you want to get as specific as you can. Right? Because then that's going to make the placebo effect that much better.
Right, and it's going to make your treatment more consistent.
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. If you're a good listener, so if you have a patient that's like talking a lot, if I'm listening to that, then I'm probably going to take more control. Like just being emotional intelligence.
There you go. Soft skills.
Really, really good emotional intelligence. I feel like if your ability to like understand how a person might like think, right? Quickly, I think is a game changer.
If you're immediately able to understand that, like, if you want to get into it and be like ENFJ or like personality type, if you can understand that right away, then like what their communication preferences and cognitive learning skill is, if you can understand that right away, you're probably going to be pretty successful with the people you have contact with.
Facts, brother.
I think we hit the nail on the head.
So emotional intelligence, I mean that kind of entails a lot of things. I would say specifically what I would say a good listener obviously is like knows what to do, right? Or if they don't know what to do, doesn't like get flustered, doesn't show any kind of like I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Like they're just like even keeled the entire time. You know what I'm saying?
Are we still talking about PT? Or
yes,
are we talking about...
because that's what we're talking about, PT.
Well, I thought we were on the scale of just being a good person.
The question is,
I understand what the question is, Brandon.
What separates a good and a great PT? So physical therapy.
Okay.
And so we went off the topic about like just it's a lot of the same with any kind of job, right? But I'm saying specifically now, like when you're in the when you're in the clinic with a patient and they have low back pain and they ask you, is my disc herniated? and you have no idea, what do you say?
How old are they?
No, I'm just saying, you have no idea if it is or not.
I don't think you should lie.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so then what do you say? How do you
need more
how do
to go
you
off of than that? You can't just say they have a possible disc herniation. Like, is it someone who's 75 or someone who's 20?
Okay, 75.
Okay, I'd say that at your age, everything is possible. That degenerative disc disease, 66% of people have it or whatever. If you were to go get an x-ray right now, 80% of people your age would have something show up on films. It's not the end of the world, we're going to fix it. What do you expect? What are your goals with therapy?
Okay. First of all, if the patient actually believes that they have a herniated disc, and they're very, like, they come in, they're like, I have a herniated disc.
Are they guarded?
Just let me talk. I have a herniated disc, right? I think it's a herniated disc, and you don't really know if it is. You're thinking it's probably not, or it doesn't matter, and you want to go off, like, the research says that 80% of people at your age have a disc herniation and are asymptomatic, right?
Right.
That's based off the research. So, so you really think if you were to say that to a patient that they would, not all patients,
No,
on average, do you think a patient would respond well to that?
probably not.
No, but you did add, like, it doesn't matter. So I think that was the one thing that you said that was good.
But
You can chime in with this. I'm not.
But saying that, it's like, it's not going to affect you any differently than how it would if you didn't have a disc. We can treat
Yeah,
it
exactly.
either way.
So I think
have one or
I think that would be a good answer, because I think most people might say, like, let me show you the research, and then not really say much about
if
it.
you're ever pulling up research documents to a patient, if they're,
I just don't think I probably won't really.
someone taught you to do that? And you should show them.
No, not show them, but, like, even say it, like, based off the research. Every time I hear that in the clinic, when someone says that I cringe so hard. I cringe so hard.
When you do this, you're 67% more likely to show better outcomes in therapy. Like, that's it?
Yes, like any kind of, like, based off the research. Like, it's just,
I agree.
but, like, you learn in school, like, you should be evidence-based, right?
I'm not saying I would directly say that to the patient. I wouldn't say, like, percentages, but I'd say that in my head, be like, well, a lot of people, if you're 65 years old and you think you have a disc herniation, a lot of people your age actually have a disc herniation.
But what would be the point of telling someone that?
What would you tell them?
No, I'm saying, what would be the point of telling someone that? I'm being a genuine, like, there's no right answer. I'm saying, what would be the point of telling a patient that statement?
To confirm that what they're believing is true.
You just said, like,
Reassuring
a lot
your
of
thought.
patients, but you said a lot of patients have this, right?
Right.
That don't have symptoms.
Right. So they
You're
can still have
invalidating.
you're validating
they
that
could
they
think
think
that
that
you're
they have a disc
validating.
herniation. You're validating that they think they have a disc herniation. You say you could have that. A lot of people your age do. Most of them are asymptomatic, and you could just be the other side of the coin where you're actually experiencing symptoms.
Okay. And what's the downside of telling them, yeah, you do have a disc herniation?
Well, then they think that it depends.
You don't ever think you could go down that route and make it a good scenario? Like, yeah, you most likely do have a disc herniation, but the disc heals, right? The disc heals. Also,
You'd rather have a disc herniation than a lumbar fusion or a broken back or like.
I don't know. You could take. I would say like that, and this is where it comes to. I think it's patient dependent.
Right.
Like one patient that might respond well to whatever I said, whatever compared to what you said.
Right.
And so but that's
Someone
hard. That's hard to do.
Someone may take a disc displacement diagnosis better than someone else. So you have to understand, like, through your subjective exam, if I tell this patient, oh, you 100% have a slipped disc, and are they going to freak out or not? Because then their idea is disabled.
It comes from what you're going to say after you tell them they have a slipped disc.
The biopsychosocial model.
Yeah. So you say, yeah, you have a slip. You might have I wouldn't say slip disc. I would say, yeah, a herniated disc, whatever. But you know what? It's very treatable. It heals on its own.
Patient-friendly language.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And like, I also like saying, like, give an example. Like, I've had a few patients that have had very, like, maybe similar. I wouldn't say like the same thing as you. Like a similar scenario, and they got better.
Yeah, this is very common and stuff that we see in the physical therapy clinic, and we're used to treating this stuff, and we think we can help you get better.
Yep. we at right now?
26?
4.
24.
Opening up to questions. No, we can't do that.
Let's read the live chat in a pre-recorded.
Should we like think of what a live chat would say?
No, Brant isn't going to take his pants off for you, but don't ask that. Riley 1, 2, 3, 4. That's something they would say. They're like, we want to see Brant with his pants off. Next week.
That was very odd.
Next episode next week, you'll see
Riley.
us- What?
I'm talking to Riley.
You'll see us with. We're going to have.
Now we're gonna get demonetized for that statement.
Why? It's not like we said anything bad. Anyways, you'll see us collab with Modern Pain Podcast. We've reached out to those guys, and Brant's been a big fan of them for a while.
Dude, that'd actually be sick, but if they saw our first 2 episodes, they would probably
They probably
disown
think
me.
we are the stupidest physical therapy students in the country.
Ghost, sponsor us. This is the B Squared Podcast.
We'll see
Out,
you-
brother.
We'll see you next time.